What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Hope you're doing well out there. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the two basic things that you need in order to heal, right? So there are two major components you need for healing. You need to understand what both of them are so that you can really just start to begin your healing process. So if you're interested in finding out what these are, join me. All right, welcome back. Hope you're doing well out there. Super good to be with you again. So, real quick off the bat, before we go ahead and get into the main content here, I just want to say really quick, it would be really helpful to me if you could leave a comment down below. Let me know if you prefer the shorter form content I'm going to be doing, and perhaps like this video will be, or the longer form content that I used to do. It'd be really helpful for me to know what you guys like, what kind of content serves you best. So I'm trying to grow the channel here, trying to reach more people, trying to add more value to your life, right? So I don't want to make you long videos if it's just, like a long slog to get through and it's not fun to watch. And I don't want to make short videos if they are just so short that they don't kind of hit home for you or really resonate. So let me know what works for you. What do you notice tends to land best for you? Okay, without further ado, let's get into the topic. So, like I said in the intro, there are two major things we need in order to heal, right? And what got me thinking about this was kind of a phrase from Buddhism, a teaching from Buddhism about enlightenment, right? So, in Buddhism, they say that in order to access the enlightened state has two simultaneous qualities, which is compassion and wisdom, or you can think of it as heart and intelligence, right? Openness of caring and love and kind of a feeling of deep, profound connection with all of life and clarity in the mind, clarity in the intelligence. And it's the intersection of these two that's kind of the hallmark of the enlightened state, right? And so they call this like the two wings of a bird, right? Enlightenment can't fly, so to speak, without both of these wings, right? And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about, from my point of view, what I've been seeing with healing, you know, there kind of is two wings as well, right? And I've made other videos about this before, so you can go back and look at like my model of the four directions. But essentially, here's what I think, right? I think in order to heal, we really do need to have two skills developed, right? The first skill is the ability to access a resource state. So, what do I mean by resource state? I mean anything that kind of empowers and resources you. So, this could be an emotion, this could be a memory, this could be a mindset, this could be just a feeling, right? So, when you get, inspired, that's a resource state. When you get super curious, that's a resource state. When you get filled with compassion and gratitude, that's a resource state, right? So, one of the things we need in order to be able to heal is the ability to access resource states and resources in general, internal resources in general, right? Trust, comfort, well being, playfulness, silliness, humor, love, um, understanding, commitment. These are all resource states, right? These are all things that are deeply, deeply helpful for healing. At the same time, we also need the other component we need is some ability or skill to be with and process challenging emotions, old memories, pain, fear, anxiety, these kinds of things, right? So we need some sort of a tool to be able to work on the past or work on the triggers or work on the pain, however you want to think of that. And we need some sort of ability to start to access positive resource states, right? What I found as I was working more as a hypnotherapist and more as an NLP practitioner is a lot of times I would go right for the resource state with people, right? I go right for let's build you up with some sort of positive reference memory or experience or access to something that feels good off the bat. And then we can take that and work on the tough stuff, right? Whatever the problem is. But what I found a lot is that people who go want to go straight for resources, a lot of times the people who are really struggling, who are really suffering or working through stuff, that's part of the issue is that they feel really disconnected from any sort of positive memory or positive emotion. And that can be really, really hard, right? Even if you've done a bunch of psychedelics, for me, I chuckle at that because when I think of psychedelics, the first thing that comes to mind is resource states. I think about love and compassion and these ecstatic experiences of oneness with the universe and the joy and the life force pumping through you and the playfulness and the wittiness. And for me, that's a huge part of why I take psychedelics, right? But for a bunch of us, if we're underdeveloped at that, even if we've taken psychedelics, we may not have had really robust resource states even on psychedelics, right? And so this is why I've started to develop this other modality, which I'm calling secure self-relating. But essentially, the modality is my answer to the first place to start with working with problem states and triggers and negative emotions. And so, what I found a lot is, again, people try to go to the resource state, and it's just like it's hard to go there. It doesn't resonate, it's hard to access. It's like it feels distant or far away, or it feels like, yeah, I can remember a time I was happy, but it doesn't like light up the neurons and fire up in the body as an emotion. It's like this distant like kind of thing, and people get kind of dismissive or kind of like underwhelmed about it, right? So if that's the problem, then we have to pivot towards the issue, whatever the thing is, whatever the pain. If the body is bringing up the rumination of the issue, the fear, the depression, the anxiety, the unresolved question, the whatever it is, right? If the body wants to go there first and won't let you feel good, then let's go there first, right? Then let's just honor what the body wants to do because it's deeply intelligent and work with that rather than try to fight against ourselves, right? And so what there's to do there is to have some sort of a tool in place, right? So this is why I've developed this secure self-relating tool that I'm launching a course on soon that I've been teaching all my clients. And it truly is both simultaneously very gentle, very deep, a life tool, something you can use in your daily life and something that you can use in medicine sessions, and it's transformative across the board, right? So for me, that's the first port of call. That's the first tool I would give you would be this secure self-relating skill and ability. But from there, then you can develop other kind of trauma processing tools or skills or self-regulation tools or somatic processing tools or the palette is large in terms of dealing with problems. And this is where the therapy world has a lot to offer us because they've mapped out a lot of different techniques for really dealing with these kind of tough spaces in ourselves, right? So there's a lot there, but I would say first you want to have this foundation of secure self-relating, which I'll explain more in other videos, so don't worry, we won't get into it right now. But basically, these are the two ways to go, right? So sometimes you can absolutely just go to a positive resource state first, but if you only go to a positive resource state and you don't connect that back to whatever the trigger or the problem or the thing you're working through is, then you're just essentially avoiding, you're just kind of bypassing, and you're still going to have the issue. It's still going to be there because that neural network never got touched or accessed or rewritten or changed, right? So that doesn't work, but you can absolutely go to a resource state, feel really good, and then from that resource, empowered, feeling good place, then go address whatever the issue is. This is how a lot of psychedelic therapy is done, right? They resource you first, and then they kind of, when you're feeling in that state, it's like, okay, let's work on the problem, the trigger, the challenge, right? Other way to go, again, just as a reminder, I'm repeating myself on purpose so that this clicks for you. Other way to go, if that doesn't work and the positive resource state isn't clicking for you, go to the negative resource state. Or the not negative resource state, the negative state, the trigger, whatever it is, just work with that more directly. If you want to learn more about how to do that, uh, watch this space. I'll be putting on a course in the coming months. It's going to be something really cutting edge, something really new that I think you're absolutely going to love. All my clients are getting their mind blown with it these days. Once it clicks, sometimes it takes a little while because it's a little counterintuitive, but once it clicks, everyone's like, holy shit, game changer. So, anyways, I'm rambling way more than I meant to, but long story short, the two things we need to heal, right, is a resource, ability to access resources and ability to work with triggers and problems. Okay, that's my point for now. Much love to you all. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.